Peace and Black Power, family. Peace and Black Power. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, DR.UMAR Ifatunde. I've been receiving a lot of text messages today asking me what do I think about the recent video that shows a daycare center in Georgia feeding white children while the black children are sitting there waiting for their food. Basically, it was a case of separate and unequal 21st century Jim Crow. So what does the certified school psychologist think about a daycare in Georgia that chose to feed white kids while the black children sat there hungry? Well, the question becomes, and there's only one question. There's really only one question. See, we can't blame that behavior on white people because we know who they are. We cannot act like we're shocked by that behavior because we've been through worse in these 4 centuries. So we can't ask the question, quote, what is wrong with the white people who would dare do such a thing? Assuming that white people did this. It could have been coons. It could have been a handful of Africoons who did this, but assuming it was the Neanderthal, we can't ask the question, what's wrong with those people? See, that question is no longer sufficient nor allowed by African people. We can no longer use the alibi that they should know better. We can no longer distract from our own responsibility by asking, why would white people do this? We can't act like these people have treated us in a humane manner. I mean, after all, these are the same people that dehumanized and perpetually enslaved your ancestors, not for 1 century, not for 2, not for 3, but for more than 4 globally. So we can't act like we're just going to blame this on white people and their behavior. Nope. This is not about white people and their behavior. It is not. It is not about white people and their behavior. This is about black people and our behavior. Let me say it again. The incident at the Georgia daycare or preschool where the white children were fed while the black babies starved is not about white people and their behavior. It's not. We can no longer use that as the scapegoat or the excuse or the distraction. This is not about white people and their behavior. This is about black people and our behavior. The question is, after all we've been through with white people, 4 centuries in America, after all we've been through with white people, after all that the pale man and woman have put us through, why would we allow our children to go to their daycare center? See, you can play these games with the integrationist. You can play these multicultural games with your everyday coons. You can play this colorblind game with politically uneducated Negroes. But if you're going to come to me, Garveyite Ifatunde, and say, what do you think about this? I have nothing to say about the white man because he has shown me for more than 3,000 years, more than 3 millennium, I have seen how he treats black people. So if I know that his behavior is consistent, if I know his mindset is consistent, he cannot be at fault because I understand who he is. You don't blame a dog that bites if you know the dog bites. You don't blame a thief that steals if you know the thief steals. If you know the thief steals, and something gets stolen, you don't ask the thief, why did you steal? You ask yourself, why did I allow things to be taken? You don't ask the dog, why did he bite? You ask yourself, why did I put myself in the dog's path in order for him to bite me? So for a white daycare or preschool to starve black children while the white children ate, you don't ask the Neanderthal, you don't ask the Caucasian, you don't ask the European, you don't ask the snow bunny. This is not the snow bunny's responsibility. This is not the snow bunny's responsibility. This is the black community's responsibility. They have been consistent. Say what you want about the pale man. Say what you want about the pale race. They have been consistent for 3 millennia. So when they do things, they are never to be blamed anymore because they don't have a moral code. They don't have an ethical code. There's no compassion. They are spiritually unable to take ethical responsibility for anything that they do. Ask yourself, why are black children going to a daycare ran by snow bunnies? Ask yourself, why are our African babies being put in a preschool ran by snow bunnies? That's the only question here. That's the only question here. That is the only question here. That's it. Which begs a larger question. Why are any black children going to school being miseducated and hated and miseducated by the Pale family and his snow bunny? Why? Why? What are we going to do different? Don't tell me about European pathology. Talk to me about African dysfunctional behavior. Don't tell me about European pathology. Talk to me about African dysfunctional behavior. The police shot and killed our brother up in Minnesota yesterday or the day before. He was a mixed race African, but still an African nonetheless. He was a mixed race African, but still an African nonetheless. Shot and murdered, and the police officer claims that she mistook her taser. She mistook her gun for a taser. Who believes that bull crap? Who will make a mistake? Who can mistake a gun for a taser? The gun and the taser don't look alike. The gun and the taser don't weigh the same. The gun and the taser don't feel the same. There's no way in hell that you're going to tell me you thought your gun was a taser. That's a damn lie. But what do we know about the Neanderthals? They have no moral code. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, they will kill. There's no moral code. And I have no doubt that her colleagues and superiors told her, I have no doubt that her colleagues and supporters told her to say it was an accident, so this is not a murder. We want to make sure you don't end up like Officer Chauvin on trial. We want to make sure you don't end up like Officer Chauvin, who's on trial right up the damn street. Officer Chauvin is on trial for killing George Floyd right up the street, and you're going to kill another black man right down the street from where the most notorious murder trial of the year is taking place. And so you don't get caught up in the George Floyd situation. You're going to act like you made a professional mistake. You're going to act like you made a professional mistake. You're going to act like you mistook a gun for a taser. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. That is a bold-faced lie contrived by the police department to protect their snow bunny. A bold-faced lie contrived by the police department to protect their snow bunny. And then we have a second lieutenant black man. Second lieutenant African Latino gets disrespected and brutalized by the police. Second lieutenant in full uniform. The man was in full uniform. Full U.S. military uniform, a second lieutenant, a commissioned officer being treated like a damn dog. Now, nobody should be treated that way, whether he was an officer or not. But the fact that America claims to love her soldiers, the fact that America claims to value her soldiers, here was a black man disrespected in full uniform with his officer's pins on him, plain as day. He had his officer stripes on him, plain as day, and the two pale men proceeded to disrespect this man who puts his life on the line for this country every single day. Joe Biden has not held a press conference yet. Where is President Biden's press conference for the murder in Minnesota and the police brutality of the U.S. Army officer? Where is the press conference from the president? Because when the Asians had hate, he had a press conference, he had an executive order, states and cities all across America passed a crime bill. So guess what, Joe Biden? We want the same energy you gave the Asians. We want the same energy you gave the Asians. We want the same energy you gave the Asians. If the Asians get a press conference, if the Asians get a personal visit, if the Asians get an executive order, if the Asians get an anti-crime bill, anti-hate legislation, then where is it for black people? Where is it for black people? We want the same energy you gave the Asians. Joe Biden is quiet. Joe Biden ain't said a word. Joe Biden ain't signed no executive orders. Joe Biden ain't have no press conference. You know why? Because killing black people is business as usual. Killing black people is business as usual. And by the way, my multicultural Negroes, the Joe Biden executive order is not for minorities. The Joe Biden executive order is not for people of color. The Joe Biden executive order is not for immigrants. The Joe Biden executive order is for Asians and Pacific Islanders only. Let me say this again. The White House Commission on Asian Hate is not for people of color. It is not for minorities. It is for Asians and Pacific Islanders. Wait a minute now. We have a problem because you gatekeepers, you coons keep telling me that Barack Obama had to be president of all the people and Donald Trump had to be president of all the people and Joe Biden had to be president of all the people. So if Joe Biden is president of all the people, why did Joe Biden sign an executive order just for Asians? If Joe Biden, because this is the excuse you use when Barack played us. This is the excuse you use when Barack Obama turned his back on black people. You said he couldn't do anything for black people because he got to be president for everybody. Well, Joe Biden is also president for everybody, but he signed an executive order and he initiated legislation to protect not blacks, not Latinos, not Arabs, not Mexicans, but to protect Asians and Pacific Islanders from hate. But he has done nothing at all about the first two major cases of police brutality during his presidency. Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you going to blame now? Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you going to blame now? Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you going to blame now? Augusta, Georgia, I will see you Thursday, 2 to 8, Humanitary House. Augusta, Georgia, the Prince of Pan-Africanism is coming to town for the first time ever this Thursday, 2 to 8 at the Humanitary House. There will be a community conversation from 2 to 4, book signing from 4 to 8. Augusta, I'm coming. See you in 3 days, God willing. And then the next day, Atlanta, Georgia, I will see you Friday inside of the Walmart parking lot in College Park at 3:30. I repeat, Friday at 3:30 inside of the Walmart parking lot in College Park, Georgia. Unity in the community, Raleigh. Las Vegas, Nevada, I will see you Friday, May the 14th. Oakland, California, I will see you Saturday, May the 15th. Los Angeles, California, I will see you Sunday, May the 16th. South Bend, Indiana, I will see you Sunday, May the 23rd. Palm Springs, California, I will see you Saturday, May the 22nd. Fayetteville, North Carolina, I will see you Friday, June 4th. Statesville, North Carolina, I will see you Sunday, June the 6th. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I will see you Saturday, not in person, but by way of Zoom, School to Prison Pipeline. South Florida, Black Parent Boot Camp coming soon. If you need the flyers to any events, 215-989-9858. If you need the flyers to any events, 215-989-9858. What are we going to do differently? See, we are so lazy, so self-hating, so dysfunctional that we would keep talking about what white people doing. Did you see the white people do this, Doc? Did you see the white people do that yesterday? Did you see the white woman do this on Tuesday? Did you see the white teenager do this on Wednesday? Did you see the white elder do this on Friday? Did you see the white cop do this on Saturday? Stop telling me about European pathology. Talk to me about black dysfunction. Don't talk to me about European pathology. Talk to me about black dysfunction. Dallas, Texas, I need a venue. Y'all ain't found no venue, so I won't be coming. I'm doing Houston and Dallas together. I'm doing Houston and Dallas together, and until I get a location for Dallas, I won't do Houston. Can't treat one city better than the other. Southern University, I may be there Friday, April 30th. Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I may be there Friday, April 30th. We working on it. Shreveport, Louisiana, May 1st. Shreveport, Louisiana, May 1st. Donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We got a $300,000 tax bill. We are not selling our schools, and we are not going to go up for tax sale. Help us save the FDMG campus. We owe $100,000 for the Frederick Douglass High School 2019 and 2020, $50,000 for the Marcus Garvey Elementary School 2019 and 2020. We do have tax abatement going forward. We do have tax abatement going forward. We don't have to pay any more taxes going forward, but we still owe the $150 for 2019 and the $150 for 2020. That's $300,000 for taxes, another $300,000 for renovations. That's a $600,000 price tag. We can pay the taxes, but we can't pay the renovations. We can pay the renovations, but we can't pay the taxes. We can pay the taxes, but we can't pay the renovations. Or we can pay the renovations, but we can't pay the taxes. Help us out. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Help us out. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Help us out. Hit your PayPal, PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Help us out. Hit your PayPal, PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Mail a check or money order to the FDMG, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809, brothers and sisters. Talking about they didn't feed the black kids in the daycare. That was wrong, but it was wrong for Africans because we don't act like that. That was rude, but it was rude for Africans because we don't act like that. It was inhumane, but it was inhumane for Africans because we don't act like that. It is inexcusable because it is inexcusable for Africans because we don't act like that. But you talking about the pale man. You talking about the Neanderthal. You talking about the snow bunny. You talking about the Caucasian. That's business as usual for them. Not feeding your kids. They used to cut the breasts off your ancestors. Not feeding your babies. They used to work your old folks to death. They used to dehumanize you. They put you on ships and treated you less than roaches and mice and rats. So why are you surprised at what they doing? The reason you surprised is because you keep trying to get white folks to accept you and love you. You have a psychological dependency on white approval, and that is the crux of your situation. You have a psychological dependency on white approval, and that is the crux of your situation. How long will this happen? When will this stop? How much more must we say this? Peace and black power. Atlantic City, I am here. About to eat. Head back to Philadelphia. One love, black power.